Yeah, base times height divided by 2. Okay, number 1. How many vertices, edges, and faces does a rectangular prism have? Okay, they kind of drew a rectangular prism if you look down at number 9. A cube is a rectangular prism. Alright, girls, Jasmine, or actually, why don't you sit over in that work? Well, Tristan. Yeah, we'll figure it out later. Jasmine, why don't you go sit between those two guys back there? Tristan's spot. Will, pick it up. Alright, what was I talking about? Okay, you guys remember what vertices meant? Corners. How many vertices are on the top? How many vertices are on the top? 4. How many vertices are on the bottom? How many total? Okay. You guys remember what edges meant? Like edge, right? Edge. Like the line segments. How many edges are on top? 4. How many edges are on bottom? 4. How many edges are in the middle, lateral? 4. How many in total? 4 plus 4 plus 4. And then faces. How many faces are on top? How many on bottom? How many lateral faces? 4 in total. Okay. Do you guys remember the little formula thing that's supposed to happen with these numbers?
Edges minus vertices plus 2 equals faces.
Kind of. Vertices plus faces minus edges equals what? 2. Every time, no matter what shape you use. By the way, you need this little formula to do number 2. Figure out number 2. We didn't have to write it for number 1, but number 2, you do need it. Okay, then we're jumping all the way to number 9. Number 9 says find the surface area and volume. I'm just going to use this picture right here of a 13-inch tall rectangular prism. So that's how tall it is, and the base is 8 inches by 22 inches. So let's put a 22 down here. Okay, surface area. This is the harder one. Volume is the easy one. If I was finding the volume of this, what would I do? You do the area of the base times I. What's it? How do I find the area of the base here?
8 times 22.
Times the height, 13. So the volume of rectangular prism, 22 times 8 times 13. Just multiply the 3 dimensions together. Super easy. That's not what we're doing here, though. We're finding surface area. How do I find surface area? Two base areas plus the lateral surface area. How do I find lateral surface area? Perimeter times height. Right there. So, how do I find the area of a base on this one? 8 times 22. But there's 2 of them, so that's where the 2 times 2 comes in. So 8 times 22 times 2. That's the 2 base areas right there. How do I find lateral surface area? Perimeter times height. What will the perimeter of the base be? 22 plus 8 is 30, plus 22 plus 8 is 30, so yeah, 60. And the height was 13. That gives you the lateral surface area. In total,
1,132.
1132 inches, what? areas are squared, volumes are cubed. That's how many square inches you would need to cover that shape. Alright. Any questions on 9? I only saw surface area. Oh, it does say in volume, yeah, you're right. Okay, I mentioned volume earlier, right? 22 times 8 times 13. 22 times 8 times 13.
2,288.
2288
That would be cubed.
inches cubed. Okay, number 11 says find the surface area, find the length of each edge of a cube whose surface area is 1176. So, I don't think I ever wrote down a formula for the surface area of a cube, but if I call this side E for edge,
Was that edge cubed?
no. Okay, what would edge cubed
Oh.
give me? That would give me the volume. How about surface area though? So on a cube, what's special about a cube is all the areas all the sides are the same. So they have the same area. How many sides does this shape have?
6.
6. A box, normal box shape, rectangular box has 6 edges, 6 sides, 6 faces. Okay, what would the area of just one of these faces be? How would I find the area of just one of these sides?
Base upside.
Yeah, but what's the base 9? E times E, E squared. So one side of one, the area of one side is E squared, but how many sides are there? 6. So that would give us the surface area for a cube. Okay, they tell us the surface area on this one is 1176. So how do I go back and figure out what each edge must be? Divide by 6. Then so about algebra right here. That would be 196.
14.
Yeah, to get rid of the square, you do square root. 14 root. Oh boy. Oh boy. No way. Alright. Number 13. The apothem of the base and length of the base if AH is 28. So we're using that picture over on the right. You guys know how to name that thing on the right? What shape is the base? So it's a pentagonal pyramid. Alright. So looking at the picture, it tells us that AH is 28. You guys see AH in the picture? AH is 28 and AG is 35. And we're supposed to find the apothem. The apothem would be what segment? HG.
So
What do those 3 segments together create in that picture?
Right triangle. Right.
Creates a right triangle. We're looking for HG, which is that little segment on the bottom. And they give us AH is 28, AG is 35. So how do I find X right there, the apothem?
28 squared minus 35 squared equals H squared.
Okay, 28 squared plus X squared equals 35 squared, which, yes, it is 35 squared minus 28 squared. But then what do we have to do at the end? Square root it, right? So, whoops, whatever this is. Let's, actually I think this one's supposed to come out even if I remember right.
Yeah, it's even.
Alright, what'd you get?
At the end,
Yeah.
21.
This is, inches. Instead of X, maybe I should call it the apothem or something. I probably should use A for apothem. There we go. Okay, 13 also asks for the length of a base edge. One other fact that it tells us, I didn't look at on the last part, was that the FH in that picture is 26. And we just found the apothem, which was 21. So, how can I find a base edge? Well, the way I drew it makes it look like a right angle right there, but that's not the case. I didn't draw it very well. If I draw the 26 as a radius of the pentagon, if I draw it right here, this would also be 26. You guys see where I'm going with this?
That created 30, 60, 90.
No, not a 30, 60, 90, but it is a right triangle. The apothem. So I'm going to call this, okay, I'll just call it X. Is X an edge of the base? Well, it's half of an edge of the base, so when we solve for X, then we need to multiply that times 2. All right, Emily, how do I set up for X there? How do I set up to solve for X? Ready? Alright, Montana?
Would it be 21 squared, plus X squared equals 27?
Yeah. Yeah, just like the last one. 21 squared plus X squared equals 26 squared. So, I mean, you could plug 21 squared in the calculator, but basically that whatever that is going to be subtracted, right?
Yeah.
So we get X squared equals, just like the last problem. Whatever that is.
30.659, so forth, so on, so 30.7.
Okay, well,
Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Never mind.
it should,
It's half of that.
yeah, it should be about
So it's like 15 something.
15 point something, yeah. But yeah, we have to multiply it by 2 because it's only half the base, so yeah, that is 30.7.
Can you just leave it in?
Which is inches.
Can you just like leave it in square feet?
Yeah, they also left a square root answer if you want to. So anyway, those are our 2 answers for that one. That was a doozy. You made us do Pythagorean theorem twice.
Man, there's worse theorems to do. They've asked us to try to write out pi. As far as we could.
Or it could have
Yeah.
What is base?
Well,
Oh,
did it like 5 minutes ago. X squared gives you one side, so you just do that times 6. Or you can use the surface area of a prism. Alright. Number 15. Find the volume of a cube. How do we find the volume of that cube? Am I gonna write it down?
9 cubed.
9 times 9 for the base, times 9 for the height, 9 times 9 times 9. Hopefully nobody gets that one wrong on the test. I wouldn't bet on it though.
you never know, especially when
X equals 13. What number?
Okay, number 17. Find the surface area of the right triangular prism. How do we find the surface area of a prism? Find 2 base areas for the base areas, plus perimeter of the base times height for the lateral surface area. So, let's start with the base areas. How do I find the area of those triangles? Number 17. Yeah, base times height, 20 times 9.8 divided by 2. But there are 2 of those triangles, so I also have to multiply by 2. That's where the 2 comes in right there. Okay, so that would be the area of the bases, plus I want the lateral area, perimeter times height. What would the perimeter of one of those triangles have to be? Or how would I find it?
Add together all the.
Yeah, the edges of the base are 20, 14, and if you look on the left, 16. 20 plus 14 plus 16 is 50. That's the perimeter. What's the height of the prism? Anybody paying attention?
40. Sorry.
40. So that will give you the surface area for 17. Area of 2 triangular bases plus perimeter times height for the lateral area.
Would that be 2,196? Maybe.
yeah.
This is centimeters.
Is it under the worksheet?
Hmm?
This isn't part of the worksheet. That we do.
Well, I doubt that one was. Okay, number 19. Find the volume of a cone. How do you find the volume of a cone?
R split times H.
Yeah, right there. Pi r squared times h divided by 3. What's the r for number 19? 5. So 5 squared times pi. Remember, most of the time, usually we didn't plug pi in the calculator, but you can if you want to. Times, what's the height? 12. Divided by 3. I believe that comes out to 100 pi feet. Oh boy. Oh. 21. So on 20 it says find the volume of the figure. So the base is a rectangular prism, so you could just multiply the 3 dimensions. So, well, I shouldn't say base. The bottom is a rectangular prism, so you can do 6 times 6 times 3 for that. The top is a triangle, or is a pyramid. So you do area of the base times the height. What is the height of just that pyramid part there? It's kind of a trick question. What's the height of just the pyramid?
4.
Why is it 4?
Because the prism at the bottom is 3.
Yeah, so if you look at that blue line, 7 goes all the way to the ground. So that would not be the height of the pyramid part. You do have to do 7 minus 3, which is 4. So 4 is the height of the pyramid. So when you go to do the area right there, area of the base times the height. Okay, anyway, 21 is asking for the lateral surface area. So just on that rectangular prism on the bottom, how do I find lateral surface area? Okay, lateral surface area, perimeter of a prism, perimeter times height. What is the perimeter of the base? 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, yeah, 24. What's the height of the prism? 3, okay. That's the lateral surface area of just the rectangular prism. Okay, plus I need the lateral surface area of the pyramid. Where did I put that? So B stands for the base area. So this is lateral surface area. Perimeter times slant height divided by 2. Unfortunately, did they give us slant height?
No.
No, they didn't.
Then,
They're meanie heads. How can I find the slant height? Well, remember earlier we said the height of the prism is, or pyramid is 4?
Yeah. And then those sides are 6, so half of that would be 3. So you can use the diagonal theorem to figure
Okay.
out what would be
Yeah, from here to here is 6. They told us that. So how long is it from the
3.
3? At positive, basically. And if I draw the slant height in here, what do I have right there? A 3, 4, blank, right triangle. Height of the pyramid, apothem of the pyramid. You guys remember this right triangle? 3, 4. No? Alright then. 3 squared plus 4 squared equals.
9 plus 16.
Maybe I should call it slant height squared.
9 plus 16 equals 25. 25 square root is 5. So
Yeah. 3, 4, 5 makes a right triangle. You guys remember that? Possibly not. Anyway, perimeter of the base, which is still 24, times the slant height, 5, divided by 2. Anyway, that will give us the total lateral surface area. No comment?
I'm literally looking for
132.
the formulas in my notes and I don't even know what they are, so I got one
Probably all over
no,
the
not
place.
formulas.
Is this whole chapter?
In the back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying, cause I have it like labeled out with lateral surface area and surface area.
Right there.
Well, yeah, like I just can't tell.
It's kind of a mess.
Well, I
wasn't blaming you for that. It's just, we did all this stuff at different times in the chapter.
yeah, but that's really honest, I can't tell.
You might wanna, well,
Well, yeah, I do cover the down, but then I can't tell what's the lateral. Well, surface area is like that, but.
yeah. So, well, this first thing is the base, so this is the lateral. All of these over here are the lateral. Anyways, yeah, I'll probably just leave this stuff out for the test, which doesn't really cover quite everything, plus you would need to know, like, what is P, how do I find it?
Hold on.
P stands for perimeter, how do I find it, that kind of thing. So it's, yeah, still gonna be, imagine a challenging test. Number 23.
Hey, did they even put the answer for
Oh, yeah, what'd you guys get?
132.
132
13,
feet. 23. Find the volume of the regular octahedron. So this one is on page 430. I don't know if you guys remember these formulas. So everybody turn to page 430 and look. Find the octahedron. Jasmine, you hear what I said? You're supposed to catch.
430.
Yeah, see it, what was it, square root of 2 over something, okay. Square root of 2 over 3 times e cubed, and on the problem they said the edge was 5. So 5 cubed. You guys remember what, Jade, I think on your homework you forgot to cube this right here. You guys remember what 5 cubed is? 125. So 125 times square root of 2 over 3. We can just leave it like that. We don't need a decimal.
Why would you just call Jaden out like that? I know.
I just
Yeah, how
remembered.
could you?
That's confidential.
So hurt.
Jade missed a problem, everybody. Spread the news.
Ouch.
Is that it?
You were the only one in the class to miss any problems.
Was that?
Pretty
Is
embarrassing.
that say M squared?
So how do we find the surface
Yeah.
area for that thing?
That is a surface area.
weird.
Or sorry, no.
Oh,
Yeah, the surface area is a trickier question.
that's
You find the area of one side and multiply it times 8. Because there's 8 triangles that make up that shape. Yuck. Alright, 25.
suggestions for how we might go about this.
Not today. Explain why, I'm reading number 25, why it would be difficult to find the surface area of that pyramid.
Because.
Because ain't gonna cut it.
It's
What would be hard about finding the surface area of 25? We've never done a surface area for 25. Why does being slanted make it difficult?
Because the measurements are different.
Okay, all those triangular sides, all the lateral surfaces are different sizes. They have different slant heights and stuff. So let's just say, yeah, something like that. All the lateral surfaces are different sizes. So you'd have to know like the slant height of every single triangle size. Anyway, all the lateral surface areas are different sizes.
Wait, so why'd you put a line right there? Is there like a reason?
I was separating prisms and cylinders from pyramids and cones. They kind of naturally group together.
I was just wondering.
Pyramids and cones, because they come up to a point, you divide by 3. Okay. Now ready for 26. Okay, actually I wasn't going to do 26, but I do want to talk about it right now. You guys know how cars work?
Roughly.
You push the pedal.
You push the pedal and it goes. Good job, man.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not an expert on the subject, but basically there's a cylinder. Have you guys heard the term like it's a 6-cylinder something?
No.
Okay. They mean a literal cylinder, like a hollow cylinder. And then there's something called a piston, which is just like kind of like a rod that's attached. And the gas explodes, pushes the piston up to the cylinder. Actually, pushes it out maybe, but anyway, the explosions cause the pistons to go up and down and they pump and turn the axles. We don't really need to know all that to do this problem, but that's kind of what they're talking about if you read the problem. The bore, so that blue thing, the blue coloring, that's the cylinder in the picture. And the bore would be the what of the cylinder. It's the diameter of the cylinder. So if the bore, I'm reading A here, it says the bore is 4 inches.
So that's the diameter.
That's the diameter. So what's the radius of the cylinder?
2.
Yeah, because really, yeah, we need the radius, not the whole thing. So radius is 2. We're doing volume, by the way, if you read the whole problem. So, right there, volume of the cylinder, pi r squared times h. Radius is 2. What's the height of the cylinder?
3.482.
3.482. Whoops.
Is this
Wrote
due
it wrong.
tomorrow? I mean, I think-
Okay, well, here's what I told the other class. No, it's not due tomorrow. But I'm going to give you a one-sided worksheet tomorrow. So, yeah. So kind of I'm adding on half of an assignment tomorrow. So both of them would be due Wednesday. It'll probably be easier than this, but yeah. I want you guys to try to get like 2 or 3 evens done today. See if you can. So, that was the height of the cylinder.
You could
So
probably
the question
just
is,
do that.
26A is find the volume of the cylinder. Volume of the cylinder. Go ahead and change it to a decimal though. Don't do the pi on this one. Or plug pi in the calculator. That's what I mean. And once you get A, B is pretty easy. I think the cylinder is where the gasoline gets pumped into, then it gets ignited and explodes and pushes the piston out, which turns the crank. That's my rudimentary understanding.
Is